Computer. Oh, we're recording. Hi, guys. Okay. So, welcome to tonight's team call. Um, this is the first call in November, correct? I think so. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it is. Okay. Well, there are a few announcements actually. So, let's obviously, you guys know that we're in No Excuses November. So, which means that, hold on, let me make this. I don't really like when I like to see everyone. Okay. We're in the middle of No Excuses November, so there's $20 off challenge packs right now. If you listen to the National Wake Up Call on Monday, I didn't realize this, but they mentioned that last year, all the other years, is like the highest year where people sell challenge packs because it is No Excuses November, and it's $20 off challenge packs. And I actually went back to my November numbers, and they were really high. So I know it's totally possible, and I just feel like some of us are in a little bit of a funk, which is like totally okay, you guys. I'm not here to if you're watching the recording, obviously, but I can already tell because there's only how many people on this call right now, and that says a lot and puts a lot of perspective into where everyone's mindset is, just saying. So, but guess what? I'm still here every single day. You're still here every single day. So, obviously I know, and Emma know, and we all know that life happens and things happen, but if you're just sitting at home and you had no excuse to be on this call, like a serious excuse to be on this call, then I really want you to check in with yourself and figure out why you're not doing those things that are going to help you push your business. And we're going into 2020, and a lot of us have big goals, and I want us to crush those goals. Like, you guys make these vision boards and you set your goals each month, and we want you to hit those goals. Like, Emma and I thrive off you guys hitting Success Club, helping people, not even hitting Success Club, helping people get started with this journey, because ultimately, if Emma wasn't here, I wouldn't be here. If I wasn't here, Chelsea wouldn't be here, or Emily wouldn't be here, right? It's a triple effect. And so I think that if we start putting that into perspective and kind of thinking like, wow, like, for example, like if I didn't start and Ashley didn't start, Amanda, who is honestly, like, I still can't believe her before and after pictures. If you guys have seen them, and I was just telling her the other day, I'm like, girl, you've come such a long way. But she's lost over 100 pounds. And could you imagine if like Ashley and I didn't share a story, like where Amanda would be? Like, would she have lost 100 pounds? Like, would she have gotten to her goals? And, so I think that we should just kind of look at that perspective and kind of think like, wow, whose life can I change today? Instead of trying to focus so much on numbers and hitting Success Club, like all that will come if we focus on the main goal of like, whose life can I change today, right? I know my life has changed drastically with this, and I know that and not just from the business, you guys. I'm talking about like from our health and fitness journey, okay? Because that is our job. Our job is to help people get started the way that we got started. Of course, the business comes with it. That's why we're here. We all have our different goals of why we're here running a business. But ultimately, come back to why you got started in the first place, right? Like, what were your goals? And so that's what I want us to kind of focus on and kind of pay it forward as we go into this month and really just crush it. And I know I say that every single month. I'm like, let's crush it, you guys. Let's do this. But just like there's No Excuses November that we're trying to reach out to people and tell them like, hey, $20 off challenge pack, No Excuses November. Talk to yourself about No Excuses November and start thinking of like, what excuses am I making in my life right now that are not moving me forward towards the goals that I want to achieve for my life, right? Because I know that I make a ton of excuses. I'll come home and I'll sit on my bed and I'm like, oh, like, I don't have the motivation to work out right now, or I don't have the mindset to invite right now. And those are all just excuses that I'm making for myself to not reach my goals. And sometimes you just have to get out of that. And it's really hard. But guess what I did today? I texted Emma and I said, can you get on Zoom? I really need the accountability. And I already knew Chelsea was going to be on and a couple other girls were going to be on, but right then and there, I knew that I needed the accountability. So if you ever feel like you need that accountability and you need someone to kind of give you that push, don't ever be afraid to post in the group or text someone and say, hey, can you hop on Zoom? Can we have a one-on-one? Like, I'm really struggling. Like, are you struggling? Like, do you want to just chat about business goals and like kind of where you're at? We're a team. We should be able to talk to each other as a team. And we should be able to come together and say, you know, like anytime that I'm feeling super down, my communication with my girls and Emma is very close. Like, I will tell Emma, like, I'm having a hard time. I didn't hit Success Club, like all of these things. And I think that, you know, we have to come together when we're feeling that low, right? Because we lift each other up. That's the whole point of running a successful business together as like a girl gang. Like, if we're going to be a girl gang and we're going to be like this tribe and this community, then we have to respect the fact that, well, not respect, but we have to honor that, like, that comes with reaching out to each other and checking in with each other and saying like, hey, like, I noticed that you're kind of off, like you haven't really been posting, like, are you okay? How are things? Like, do you want to hop on a one-on-one? Like, sometimes when, you know, like I'm feeling like shit, like I know Emma will reach out to me, or if I know that I don't see Emma posting that much, or I see that she's kind of backing off, like I'll reach out to her, and vice versa with all my other coaches. Like, I feel like sometimes we just need that. And, you know, check on your strong friends. I always say that, like, literally, I always see that, like, little, like, that little, like, quotes, like, check on your strong friends, because sometimes your strong friends are the ones that are struggling the most. And so, yes. Okay, so Emma and I were really inspired by this call that we watched, and I'm going to share it with you guys. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to share this call with you guys, and I'm going to post it in the recording, and I'm going to post it on the team pages. Emma, is that okay? Like, that I obviously, right? Yeah, okay. But here's the thing.
I shared it with a few girls already, so post the way I have to share it.
Cool. So here's the thing. I'm going to post it, right? It's 58 minutes. It's long, but I was telling Emma, I felt like I was at Summit. Like, I literally felt like I was at a mini Summit right in front of my computer. The shit they were saying, you guys, is exactly what I needed, and the exact kick in the ass that I needed, because I was in such a funk. And I was literally just telling Emma, and she had sent it to me, and I was like, thank you. Like, I really needed this. And so I'm going to post it, but it's your responsibility to watch it, okay? Like, I am not gonna like post it and then check in with every single one of you and ask you if you watched it, right? If you are intrigued and are like, oh, what's this call about? Like, I really wanna watch it. Take the time to either, and I recommend taking time, like, and really taking the time to take notes, because amazing. Like, I was taking notes like crazy, but taking the time to take notes, because it was such an amazing call. And so I want to kind of go over some of the pinpoints, not all of it, because it was very long, but I wanted to share some of it with you guys, so that when you do go and watch the video, you kind of already have like a little like spark notes from it, right? So I thought it'd be super fun, and I kind of want to check in with you guys, and if you can write in the chat box, that would be great. But I want to know if you've made your year-end goals, like your goals that you want to, like, from basically, have you made your November and December goals? Have you done that yet? Okay. Yes or no? Have you made your vision board? Yes or no? Okay. For 2020. Have you also thought about your, how am I going to try and say this? Have you also thought about where you want to, like, your position on this team, I guess, exactly, was what I'm trying to say, right? So where do you want to be? Like, where do you see yourself next year on our team? If you see yourself just being a hobby coach and just hanging out and whatever, then that's fine. Like, we're not going to push anyone to do anything you don't want to do. But if you see yourself being a leader, then we kind of just want to figure out where everyone is and kind of just align with everyone. And so your goals for November, December, have you made them? Have you made your vision board? And where do you see yourself on this team, like, basically in the next year going into 2020? So really check in with yourself and write in the chat box. So on the call, there were so many freaking top leaders on this call. It was literally amazing. there was Lindsay Matway, Ashley Molstad, Christina Delgado, Holly Hilliard, Danielle Natoni, Jamie Innes, Brittany Leggett. Is that Brittany Leggett? Or did she change her name? Okay, yeah. And there was 2 others that I didn't take notes on, but because I was listening in bed. But you guys, this was about 2020 vision, okay? And so some things that kind of stood out to me were, I'm going to start with this one because I feel like this is the one that kind of spoke to me the most, is having this glass ceiling, okay? And this is what Christina Delgado talked about. We all have this like glass ceiling above our heads, right? Like, oh, like I could never speak on stage at Summit, or I could never, like, oh, she's a top coach. Like that's never going to be possible for me. Like I can't do that. Or, you know, oh, she retired her husband and her husband works with her now. Like that's not possible for me. Like I could never do that. That's you putting a glass ceiling on your, above you. Okay. You're basically saying like, that's where I stop. Like I only stop right here. And like, that's not possible for me. Like that vision is not possible for me. But I want us to break that glass, because I really do feel like if those coaches can do it, there's literally nothing that separates them from us. Literally nothing. And we all have a specific purpose and big audacious goals. And I do think that, you know, we should stop looking left, stop looking right, and just stop looking all around us, okay, and break that glass ceiling, okay, because the patterns that we're going in right now and the patterns that we're you know, like the patterns of making excuses and not showing up for our team and not showing up for ourselves and, or whatever it is, like, and I'm not speaking to anyone in specific, like ever, I'm speaking as a general team. Okay. But breaking the patterns and really making your vision become a reality. Like for me, this is never going to be like it's either a hell yes or a hell no. Right. So you should feel that like, oh, hell yes. Like that girl is a 15-star diamond coach. She's making 6 figures. Oh, hell yes. Like I am about that. Like I want all of those things, right? You should never feel guilty and you should never feel ashamed for wanting those for yourself. And if that's not something that you want, like you don't want to make 6 figures, and I'm just going to say that, like, because guess what? You can make 6 figures in this business. Beachbody does not guarantee the success of any coach, of course, but if you are a person that's like, oh, like I don't have a fan, like I don't have kids right now, obviously, right? But for me, I know that oh my gosh, sorry. I kind of stopped putting myself in that bubble of like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, build a life for kids that I don't have. Like, why would I ever do that? Like, why wouldn't I start to build a life now for my future kids so that when they do come into this world, they have this life already. Like they have that life that I envision to have for my kids, like being able to go to a really good school or being able to have a house and their own bedrooms and have, you know, be able to buy them things that I don't have to like look at the price tag and be like, oh, mommy can't afford that. Like that would literally break my heart. So like those are things that like I know that I want for my life and my future life. So I'm looking like 5 years down the road. So like I have to start hustling now, right? And so if that's something that you want, like you want those things, then you have this opportunity right here, this platform, everything that you have, this blueprint is right here in front of you. Why would you want to go elsewhere with it? And again, like I said, like if that's not something that you want to do, totally cool, right? Like totally okay. No one is forcing you to do this business. But at the same time, just know that the possibilities are endless and that you can do, like, it's not going to happen overnight. Of course, you guys, I'm not expecting you to like hit 15 stars, top coach, hitting, you know, massive numbers and making massive amounts of money like tomorrow. Like, obviously I know that's not realistic. Okay. But just know that if you do set goals and you do hustle hard, that your vision can become a reality for you and your family. Right. And so, but you have to break that glass ceiling above your head and you have to stop saying like, oh no, like she's just lucky, like that's something like good for her, like she's speaking on stage, like she's doing that, and like, you know, I don't really care about hitting 15 star. Well, guess what happens when you hit 15 star, right? Or when you hit star diamond or whatever it is, like you could be earning significant amount of money to be able to live the life that you want, right? So, and I know it's sometimes like, to me, I don't find it icky because I'm like, I'm hustling really hard for my future and for my future kids and for my future family. So like, I don't take anyone's opinions unless they're in the arena with me, like hustling and working hard. So to me, I never feel bad or feel guilty for wanting to make six figures or wanting to make money at all in this business. Because guess what? Like, in the long run, in 5 years, when I'm able to buy a house or to go on trips with my kids and not have to say no, or not have to literally tell someone like, oh no, I can't do that because I can't afford it, right? Like, I always want to be like, oh hell yes, like I would love to take my kids to Disney for the entire week. Like right now, if I had kids, I would not be able to even afford myself to go to Disney for a week. Okay. So that's just like where I kind of want us to kind of start looking at like the 5-year visions too, just not like 2020 vision. Right. And another thing is, be brave enough to dream big, like literally dream big. Okay. Encourage people to join this journey with you. So when you're making these big, audacious goals, you should be talking about that. Like you should never feel ashamed. So, and I never share my vision on my Instagram, and I don't really know why, but it's like, I want my followers to know that like, hey, like I'm doing this business because I want my future family to have the life that we never have to say no to vacations or whatever. Right. And so share those, like talk about it on your Instagram and like share that vision with your followers who are going to be like, oh shit, like I would love to go on a vacation with my kids and like not have to worry about, you know, taking time off or whatever it is, right? Like totally, like you should share that on your Instagram or on your social media, wherever you're sharing stuff. But be brave enough to dream big, right? Another one that really stuck out with me, and I kind of really want to, and then I'm going to go into the other one, but because I was talking about this with my mom and when I was in Disney, and I was like, I really hate, because I know coming from my divorce and being on my phone a lot, like I know like I'm always on my phone, right? Like I get that. Like I run a business from my phone. Where is my phone? It's over there. But I'm always on my phone. But ever since my divorce, I've tried to at least do a good amount of like self-awareness that when I'm with other people, I'm not always on my phone. Like I put it down, I make time, I make the effort to pay attention to conversations, not be on my phone on certain times, like whatever, right? But I get super annoyed when people tell me to get off my phone. And they're like, get off your phone, like you're always on your phone, you're always doing that. And I started to feel guilty for it. Like I started to feel like super guilty for it. But at the same time, I was like, why am I feeling guilty for it? Like I feel like I'm doing a great job of being super like into this conversation, super aware. And like, yes, if I check my phone, okay, like whatever, I'm probably checking for an email or I'm probably checking to see if that girl responded to my share cart, whatever, right? But guess what, you guys? You should never, ever feel guilty for being on your phone. That phone is your business. That phone gives you the opportunity to run a multi-level $1 million business in the long run, right? Like that phone that you have, like if you're scrolling and like doing other things and you know, you're sitting on the couch and you're just scrolling, playing games on your phone, then of course, yeah, I understand people getting mad at you for not being intentional with your time, right? But if you're working and you're connecting with other women and you're doing share cards and you're sending out invites and you're doing all of those things, that's when you should never feel guilty for being on your phone, because that phone is paying your bills. That phone is helping you get closer to your goals and helping you, you know, it's literally like your phone is literally your business. Like it's completely different than how other people see it. And I had to really when I heard this, I already knew that I wasn't feeling guilty anymore, but it just clicked and made me feel so much better about like where I stand with people. And it's actually funny because I've actually told Brandon this now, my boyfriend. But I was like, if I'm ever on my phone and I'm not like, I don't realize it and I'm not being intentional, please let me know. Please be like, hey babe, like, can you put your phone down? Like, I would love to enjoy this time with you. And then totally okay. Like, I love the communication, right? And a lot of the times, you guys, I will say like, hey, like, I'm really sorry. Can you just give me a minute? I'm just going to pop on my phone really quick and just answer this email. And then I'll put my phone down. So having that communication and having that, not feeling guilty, like literally release any guilt that you have against your phone. Because like I said before, your phone is your business and it's giving you the opportunity and giving you the opportunity to literally build a life for your family. That's why I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. That's why it literally irked me. I could cry about it right now. Like, I don't even want to talk about it, but I could cry about how many times my husband would get mad at me for being on my phone. And I would tell him that I was on my phone, like what I was doing on my phone already. Like I had that communication with him, and I would like, he knew what I was doing and I was doing this for our future. So it really bothered me that it was like that's when I knew, like, he says he supported me, but he really didn't. Because if you supported me, you would understand that I was on my phone working to be able to build a life for our family. And that's why it's so important to me now to really dive deep into that communication with now my relationship now, and not feel guilty for it. And I actually love this so much that I shared it with Brandon, and I was like, hey, like, I love this so much, like, this is what I had. And he was like, you should never feel guilty. I will never make you feel guilty for being on your phone. Like, you work from your phone. And guess what, you guys? This is how I know, because I was at his baseball game and his friend came over and was like, and after I already communicated with him and I said, I really don't know if I should go to your game because I need to send out these invites. I need to do this. And he was like, babe, you can work from anywhere. You can work from your phone. And I was like, okay, I'll go to your game. I'll just work from my phone. He had back-to-back games, and his friend came over and he was like, oh, you're not even like paying attention and watching his game. And he said, bro, she's working from her phone. She works her business on her phone. And I was just like completely like stunned. But guess what? I had that communication with him. I told him that I had to work. He gave me that okay to work while he just wanted me there to support him. And he supports me. So having that communication and never feeling guilty for being on your phone. So I just wanted to share that with you really quick. And the other one is, and I know Emma can attest to this, but don't settle for anything less than success and happiness. And let me tell you something. This business is really, really hard. Like, I have really, really, really hard days. Like, hard days where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't know if I can do this, but I know in the long run that this will pay off. And I have to be super intentional where I spend my time, what I say yes to, what I'm doing, like, making goals, sticking to my goals, and making promises to myself and not breaking it. Imagine how it feels when someone breaks a promise to you. How does that feel, right? Why is it any different if you make a promise to yourself and you're like, I promise myself that I'm going to build a legacy and build a life for my family so that we can live free, like financially free, and we can live this life made by our design. Like, I can be able to go to, do all of those things with my family that I said before. But guess what? That's not settling for anything less than success and happiness, and not breaking those promises to yourself. If you're going to make a promise to yourself, don't break it, right? Because, and again, come back to how it feels when someone breaks a promise to you. Because I know, like, it literally feels like someone's crushing on my chest, like sitting on my chest when someone breaks a promise to me, because that's like something I'm just like, don't make a promise to me that you can't keep, right? So don't make a promise to yourself that you can't keep, right? And treat this business like $1 million business, because it is, okay? Treat it like that, okay? Look at your business every single day. You should be waking up and saying, holy shit, I have a business. I didn't do shit with it yesterday. That means I need to level up today, right? Do you think that if you just walked into your restaurant, or if you just like just didn't show up in your restaurant, that like people would be like, where is this guy, like, or where is this girl, like she doesn't even care, like she doesn't even care about her business, she's not even showing up, like what is this, like you know what I mean? So treat it like a business, because it freaking is, ladies, right? And ask yourself, is what you're doing today moving you closer to your goals? Because if it's not, then what are you really doing, right? And I know some days we have hard days, like, and I want you guys to respect those hard days and really just like figure out how, like, listen to personal development that's really talking to your soul. I mean, like, talking to your soul, because, you know, super attractor right now is something that, like, holy shit, like, I really needed in my life. So listening to, you know, like going on YouTube and listening to team calls, or listening to calls that might inspire you to move your business. Like, not only listening to personal development, you guys, listening to going on YouTube and searching team calls from other top coaches will literally light a fire in your ass. Like, I'm telling you, I promise you. Like, I was telling Emma, I used to do that when I first started this business, and it motivated me so much to just keep going. And I haven't done that in a while. And I think that I'm just like coming back to all the things that I used to do, like pre-divorce, like before I got a divorce, when I was really, really hustling, right? And because, of course, like, I've had different seasons, I've gone through different valleys, and, you know, going through my divorce, like, and everything, like, I felt it all, guys. We all feel it, right? We're all here. We all are in this together. Like, no one's suffer is any worse than anyone else's suffer. We're all in this together, right? But I think that's such a great thing that we all get to experience this together, and we don't experience it at the same time. And so, which is why I'm coming back to check on your strong friends, because this, like, on days that you're having a good day, maybe your other friend is having a bad day, and you can hype her up, right? That's why we're a community, and that's why we do this together. So look at your business every single day and ask yourself, is what you're doing today moving you closer to your goals? Talk about, this is what it was. Talk about it like it's froyo, okay? What was the analogy? Remember what she said? So what are you grinding for, okay? I forget what the froyo. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything. I want you guys to watch the call, and then you can come back to it, and you can be like, oh, froyo, that's what she's talking about. But what are you grinding for? If you want to be an elite coach, act like an elite coach, okay? If you want to be a 5-star, or if you want to be a whatever, like whatever your goals look like to you, like, doesn't matter, like, this is your business, whatever. Like, if you want to be making like, I don't know, $6,000 a week, or even $1,000 a week, like whatever it looks like to you, just know though that like whatever it is to you, like if you're literally like, I want to make $6,000 a week, that's totally possible. By the way, Brittany Powers, if you've ever seen her like graphics of like her income, there are some months that she makes like $35,000 a month. So that's like my whole entire year of like an income. So just know that like the sky is the limit, and it just determines on what hard work you put in. Okay. And again, the Beachbody does not guarantee the success of any coach. It's literally your hard work and efforts. So if you want to be an elite coach, act like an elite coach. How would she be posting? How will she be working? How many hours would she be putting in? Right. And so, because at the end of the day, you guys, guess what? I know it sucks, and I know, like, trust me, like, I've felt it, like, I know what it's like, but these coaches who are hitting Success Club and helping people each month and are making a significant amount of money in this business are not just sending invites out once a week, okay? They're not. They're not just doing 1 power hour a day. They're doing power hours, okay? Power hours, meaning that they're like literally putting in those hours. Lindsay Maue, she said on this call that she was working, she worked during the day, came home, did her family stuff, and would work from 9 p.m. until 3 a.m., Okay. And I've been there, you guys. I've done that. Like, I get it. I got it. And sometimes, like, I'm not telling you you have to do that, but I just want you guys to know that what it looks like to run a 6-figure business might be putting in 80 hours a week. Okay. And I know that sounds really scary, and I know it sounds really tiring. And you're like, well, where's time to sleep? Well, you have to figure out a schedule that's going to work for you. Okay. But 5 years in time, when you put in the work, it won't be easy, but it will be so worth it, because you will not have to work those hours that you're working now. But it's just like starting any other business, because you have to believe in the impossible and know that it's possible for yourself. Okay. Everything that we've ever had, or like haven't had, like, look, if you think about it, like, we never used to have a computer. We never used to have Zoom. We never used to have iPhones. But guess what? The impossible became possible. We now have computers. We now have iPhones. So don't ever think that there's a glass ceiling above your head, that it's totally not possible for you. Because I know for me, just speaking from me, is that if I know that there are other coaches out there that are working from home, making 6 figures, and being able to do all the things with their family, buy a house, build their dream home, do those things, I'm like, holy shit, hell yes, like, I want that. Like, what does it take? Tell me right now. This is what it takes. We're telling you guys what it takes. Okay? So it's proof that it's possible. Literally, those girls are proof that it's possible. Okay? And so going into the business baseline minimum, and this is what I want you guys to do. So start writing this down. Obviously, act like the coach that you want to be, right? So I know that I want to be a 6-figure earner in this business. I have really big goals. Like, you guys know my goals. You've heard them before. Like, I want to move out of here. I want to pay off all my debt. I want to officially pay my mom off. I have all of these goals, right? Like, sometimes we need to embrace the suck that we're in. And sometimes that suck is what's going to get us out of, like, our goals are great. Like, goals are like, okay, goals. Like, I want to build a house. I want to go on this trip. I want to have this much in savings. I want to go to Summit. I want to be this star. Like, that's great. But you know what's going to push you even more is the shit that sucks in your life right now, to be totally honest. And you should have a this shit sucks list, to be totally honest. And I know, like, I never want to talk about, like, the negative in our lives, but sometimes when I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I have all these goals, but, like, where am I at right now? Like, this shit sucks. Like, I'd rather be living in my own apartment, like my 2-bedroom, apartment. And I think back of, like, I used to live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. I used to have a bedroom, and I used to have an office where I used to work out. And so I know those things are possible for me. Like, I know they're possible. I just have to get back to that. And guess what it's going to take? Me putting in those hours, me showing up for my business, right? Because if I'm just going to sit here and complain and make excuses for myself of why I can't, and put that glass ceiling above my head, I'm never going to get there. Right? I'm never going to reach those goals. And so if you have those goals and you're in this shitty, sucky situation, you have to put both of them combined and create, like, something that's going to make you want to get up each morning and be like, oh, hell no. Like, I got to get out of here. Like, I do not want to do this anymore. Because, you know, I always think about this, like, this, and this is just for me, you guys, because I'm not a mom at all, but I always think about this, like, what if I woke up tomorrow and I was pregnant, right? What if I woke up tomorrow and I was pregnant? I would probably literally shit my pants, because I am not financially prepared for that whatsoever. So when that does happen, I want to be able to be like, this is such a blessing. I have this opportunity. I have this business. I've built this business. I'm so proud of this, that now, like, this has come at such a good time. Like, I'm ready and prepared for this, right? Of course, we're not always prepared for shit like that. I'm like, can attest to that. And look, she got out of it, right? But you know, having that opportunity to just build that life for yourself, and man, that looks so amazing. Like, I really, honestly, like, I really see that whole vision for myself. I see, like, myself, you know, moving into an apartment. Like, I was looking at apartments today, and it's like moving into an apartment and, you know, having that dream home, and eventually, like, building my own house, and just having that time and that freedom, and that I never have to once worry about if I can pay that bill or this overdraft fee, or like I can't go on this trip because of this or whatever it is, right? And so that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of imbalance, you guys. So this is what we really wanted to focus on going into all of this. And this is all going to make sense right now. We are going into a very, 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 very busy season, correct? Like we have family stuff going on. We have travel. We have Christmas. We have this. We have that. A lot of excuses are going to pop up. A lot of excuses, okay? A lot of stuff that it's going to be like, oh, I can't work my business because Aunt Susan's coming in town. I don't want to be like, rude and whatever. Like, girl, if Aunt Susan came in town and you owned a restaurant that you invested millions of dollars in, do you think you're going to give two shits what she thinks, or are you going to go work your business because you invested so much money into it? Right? I bet you Aunt Susan would be like, oh no, I totally get it. Like, I totally understand. Like, you just opened this business, right? You have to communicate this with every single one of your family members. You have to be super intentional with your business as we go into these difficult seasons of life, right? And this is just not just about the holidays, right? But just going into the holidays, and I want you guys, like, you're going to make your goals for November, December, but how are you going to reach those goals when we are going through traveling or going through, girl, listen, I'm gone for 2 weeks in December and I'm freaking out. Like, literally, like what? Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out because I get to work from home, but seriously, like, I'm still freaking out. Like, I don't know why, because I'm like, where am I going to be intentional with my time? Like, what if we're out doing this and I need to, like, so I'm like trying to figure out where I'm going to put my time, to be totally honest. That's why I loved this. So adapting and staying committed to your goals through the holidays. Okay. The vision has to come first. You guys have to make your vision boards. Do not fuck around with these vision boards. I'm not even kidding. Do not fuck around with your goals. Do not fuck around with your vision board. Like, make it so serious that, like, holy shit, like, I really want this, but what is it going to take? Like, these are my goals. Like, I know that I want to make $1,000 to be able to buy my kids or buy family members, like, all the gifts in the world, right? Like, if you want to be able to buy gifts this year, like, that's my goal. I want to, like, buy everyone gifts, because last year I really couldn't. Like, last year everyone got nothing because I didn't have anything, you guys, when I got a divorce. Like, I got like, he asked me to divorce him on Thanksgiving, and so I literally had nothing. I had nothing. I was living by myself. No, I was in a state of depression. Like, I hated it. So, like, this year, my goal is to just, like, spread the love and just, like, be able to enjoy myself shopping and just get people gifts that I want to get them, right? But I can't do that if I'm so worried about, Aunt Susan coming in town and figuring out, like, what I'm, like, I can't work this weekend because I'm doing this. Like, well, then you didn't really want it that bad, right? And then your paycheck is going to be a direct reflection of the work that you did, right? To be totally honest. So, adapting and staying committed. The vision has to come first. Like, that's why I said your vision of where you want to be in 2020 and the hard work that's going to come from that. Like, life is going to be busy and there will be heavy and chaotic stuff that happens in our lives. But when you have that vision and you're like, okay, like, now what? Like, what do I do? Big dreams equal big work. Okay? Repeat after me. Big dreams equal big work, even on your toughest days. Girls, I get it. Like, the girls are going to make fun of me, but I literally took a depression test off Google today and it rated me as severely depressed. And, like, I know it's all bullshit. It's all in my head, but, like, I feel it. Like, Emma's going through postpartum depression. Like, I'm going through a lot this season because of, like, my divorce and, like, all of that. But guess what? I feel like that's all in our heads. Like, I get it. Like, I can say this because I'm going through it right now. And I know that it's just me in my head making all of these excuses. And I feel like I'm, like, fucked, right? And I feel like we need to get unfucked. And so, sorry for my language, but you guys are used to it by now. But having big dreams equals big work, even on those tough days, you guys, okay? See past the challenge, because guess what? it's only temporary. That challenge, that tough day is literally only temporary. And are you going to let something that's temporary ruin your success and ruin the big dreams that you have? No, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't, because it's temporary. So making a business baseline minimum, okay? And what does that mean? It means having business integrity, identifying your minimum baseline of what you're going to do each day for your business. And you're going to honor that, and you're going to commit to it, okay? You're going to commit to that, what you made for yourself. You're going to make a promise to yourself, and you're not going to break that promise, because guess what? It sucks. Hi! You're not going to, are you guys listening to me? But you're not going to break that promise to yourself, because okay. I was like, what? But because like I said before, it's how you feel when someone breaks a promise to you, right? So, sorry, I got like super distracted just now. It's okay. But what are you internally motivated by? No, it's okay, Emma. You're totally fine. But take responsibility for your business, okay? And consistency is what is going to set you up to achieve what you want in the long run, right? Okay. So the vision has to be good, it has to be necessary, and you have to work hard so that you can achieve it. Obviously, you guys know that. But show up for yourself, show up for your family, show up for your goals, and show up for your team. Okay. So what is your business baseline minimum? What are the top 3 to 5 things that you are going to do, okay, no matter what? Your business baseline minimum, meaning that you have a freaking business, you woke up, you still have this freaking business, you woke up, it didn't go anywhere, you have girls on your team, you have challengers that you promised that you would help them get set up and reach their goals. What is your business baseline minimum? Is it checking in with your team and checking in and either sending them a GIF or saying, hey girl, so proud of you, yes? Is it, sending those invites? Like, what is your minimum invite each day, right? Your business baseline minimum. What are you going to get done no matter what, even on those hard days? That is like your top 3 or top 5, okay? And going into the holidays, right? That means that you're setting time aside and you're like, hey, like, listen, like if you know that you have family dinner, you should be waking up early to do those business baseline minimums. You should be waking up to do those, okay? Because what is it going to take? Those goals, ladies, like those goals, like 6 figures and living, not even 6 figures. Okay, fuck that, whatever. Living a life financially free and by your design and doing those things like your vision and all of those things, that shit's not going to come if you think that you're just going to stroll on by and that people are going to show up in your DMs wanting to join your team and join your challenge group. It's not going to happen, right? It might happen. It might take a really fucking long time, but guess what? If you're putting in the work and putting in the hours that it's going to take, it might happen sooner than later. And you're going to thank yourself 5 years from now and thank yourself and say like, holy shit, I'm so proud of myself for working so hard. And guess what? Your kids will be proud of you too. Your kids will want to look up to you, and your kids will say, I'm so proud of my mom for working so hard and putting in the hard work and effort so that we could live this life, right? Like, holy shit, like I don't even have kids. And I'm like, I would cry if my son or my daughter was like, I'm so proud of my mom. Like, you guys, I'm just saying, like, think about the long run. Don't think about right now where we're at. Like right now, like embrace the suck. We're in a difficult season and shit. Yeah, I get it. But think about like the long run. What is it going to take? Because if we're going to keep on keeping on with this behavior and this mindset and this like streak of like work ethic, those goals are going to take a really, really long time. And I would rather us get to them closer rather than further on in life. And then we're like, oh, this sucks and it's taking so long. It's taking so long because you're not putting in the work, right? So that's honestly really all I have, you guys, for tonight. And I kind of just wanted to just set the tone for the new year and kind of set like some really big goals for us and really think about like where you see yourself, not just in a year, 5 years from now, because that all this hard work that we're doing now is going to set us up for that life that we want to live with our family and for ourselves. Okay. Because I know a lot of us on here, we're all adults. We're all at that prime in our 20s, our 30s, whatever. So I know we want all those things, right? Okay. So I don't really have much else to say. I don't know if Emma does or whatever. Emma, do you have anything else you want to add? I know you have people over. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. No, everything you said was great. And just like the baseline minimums that I was talking, or what you were talking about, is so true. And just like, I know that Gabby can attest for this too, but when she was going through her time, like that's what we focused on. Like any day we show up, like today when she texted me, like her baseline minimum was working out today. And she's not going to get anything else done, right? Like, so you just have to really stay consistent and know that everyone has holiday season. Like everyone has stuff going on. Beyonce, Sierra, like people like that have stuff going on, and they still show up. They still level up in their business and what they're doing. So as long as you have that passion and the drive, we're here, we're doing it together. And this right now is setting yourself up for January. So I was also looking back at numbers, and November is always a bigger month for me. And I already have 2 people that are like $20 off. Heck yeah. Like, I don't know if you probably touched on this, but say it's you, right? So no, great call. Everything you said was perfect. And yeah, listen to that call, but you have to watch it. And we will know if you've watched it, because you will freak out, because everyone that's already watched it has freaked out. So
yeah, it's seriously, I mean, when I saw 58 minutes, I was like, oh fuck. But then I started watching it, and I did not feel like 58 minutes. I was like, I need more. Like 3 times.
I'm actually happy you said that, because each person only had 5 minutes. So actually it's 58 minutes, but it, like I was telling Alexis, it's sped by, because I sent it to her too. She hasn't watched it, but she wants to watch it. She's like, I saw everyone posting about the call. Like, I wanted to watch it. There's like 1,000 people on it. So the fact that we have it in our hands, take advantage of it, because I don't think people have that recording. I'm in Carly Lindor's team page, and that's how I got the recording. That's the only way I would have gotten it.
Yeah, so take advantage of this stuff, you guys. We give you guys all of these resources, and for a reason, because we want you to work your business. And it blows my mind that people quit this business and they're like, oh, it's too hard, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't be here. I didn't have enough resources. That's bullshit, number one. Like, we give you literally everything that we possibly can. Like, for anything that I see, I share with you guys. And to be totally honest, if you're blowing by it, that's your problem and your fault, to be totally honest. So when you don't see your business moving, it's because you blew by an opportunity that you could have moved your business and listened to 58 minutes of a freaking call by multiple top coaches, okay? Multiple top coaches that blew my mind, that Lindsay Matway started, and all of those coaches down from her were like, I build my business because I was watching her team calls on YouTube. And Lindsay Matway was like, what, like, that's so crazy. Like, and all those girls were like, all I wanted to do was like just be Lindsay Matway, and all I wanted to do was just like, I was so motivated by her. And guess what? And then they were on a call with her. Like, what? So that's just like, you have, your vision has to be way bigger than you. Okay. So I hope this call was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna literally try and upload the recording ASAP right now before I go to bed. I'm not really gonna go to bed, but I'm going to upload it and attach the video too. I'll do all that tonight for you guys so that you can have it. But love you guys so much. And does anyone
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everyone too, on the recording or whenever Gabby posts it, she's going to we'll post the vision call. And then also, will you just share what your business like baseline minimums are for yourself? Just be honest with yourself. What's going to be like on those really hard days, if it's 1 or 2 things for yourself to move your business forward, whatever that looks like, just so you have for yourself. And then also, people seeing you post that is also going to help them and want them to watch and like know what you're talking about. So you guys are leaders, and you guys taking that action is also going to help other people on the team. So if you're on the call right now, you still have that fire, and not saying if you're not on live, you don't, but we need to also be helping the people that maybe are, struggling a little bit more right now. And even though we are like, we're here to help, and we're able in that mindset to be able to pull people up, because that's what we're here for, right? So I just wanted to add that.
Exactly. So, okay, perfect. So I'll stop the recording. Thank you so much for watching, and I will post everything tonight. So love you guys.